So, back from the VGC guide, and this time we are looking at Great Tusk. Finally, the Paradox Pokemon are available going into this Series 2, so we can finally cover them in the guide. Great Tusk is going to be a very strong Pokemon, because there were almost no ground types in the format. There was Garchomp. That's it. There was Garchomp. I guess to an extent Gastrodon, but, you know, no one else uses the other things. Great Tusk is going to be used for sure. It's going to be very, very nice. The main thing that Great Tusk has is single target ground. You had Stomping Tantrum, and that was just not strong enough. Like, on Garchomp, not worth it. Just go for Earthquakes. You're going to have to fiddle around with your teams to find things to Earthquake next to. Great Tusk does not have that issue. It gets Headlong Rush. One of 3 Pokemon to get Headlong Rush. Really, really nice for it. It's going to be able to do some massive damage. 120 base power, way better than 75. Like, closing in on twice as strong. Really, really good. It does have the same drawback as Close Combat. Oh, we should look at that. You also have Close Combat, but really strong. Base 120, coming off base 131 attack. Really, really nice. Ground fighting, unique coverage. We haven't had that Pokemon with that type of before. So really, really good for Great Tusk. I'm looking forward to using this a lot. It's very similar to Buzzwole in the fact that it's got, like, good defense, but terrible special defense. So you do have to keep that in mind, that it's going to be quite frail on that side. And it will make itself even frailer by going for Headlong Rushes and Close Combats. But that's worth it, because you probably just KO'd a Pokemon with those moves, especially with the Choice Band. So that Choice Banded Headlong Rush is going to be easily able to pick up a max HP Iron Hands. And Iron Hands is pretty bulky. So being able to Oka that, even the max HP ones, is going to be really, really nice for it. Then you go max speed here. You want that speed security of outspeeding opposing Golden Goes, because you just about do it by a few points. I think it's 3 points that you outspeed it by, so you might as well. Having that security, even though not all Golden Goes will be timid, they will be modest or not even speed invested. Just having that security with the Choice Band, because if you have the Choice Band, you don't have something like the Assault Vest that's coming up, then you'll just be KO'd to the Make It Rain. So if you're Choice Band, you really, really should be outspeeding the Golden Goes, because otherwise they just KO you. So yeah, really, really nice coverage with the Headlong Rush and Close Combat. And then you get to round it off with Earthquake, because, you know, you sometimes do want to Earthquake yourself. And then Ice Spinner is really, really nice coverage with the ground. Like, ground and ice is near perfect coverage. So really, really good for Great Tusk, especially with the fact that it gets the added bonus of getting rid of the terrains as well. So this could be really, really sweet indeed. I will just mention that if you don't invest in attack at all, and you invest fully in speed, you can actually get a speed boost with Photosynthesis. Do you want to? Probably not. Like, the Photosynthesis boost being active on the attack would probably be more beneficial with the Choice Band, because then you, like, Oko everything. And if you're using Torkoal, then do you want to be going super fast? Because your Torkoal probably wants to be going super slow. But something to point out, and entirely possible as well to be able to do, because you'll still hit, like, well enough without any investment. Because this is not, like, the most. Like, that's 15. That's a reasonable amount. Actually, technically 22 because the Choice Band. But will still hit hard enough. So worth considering. Would probably go for the attack boost instead. You can also just very much go for a Life Orb. If the Life Orb is free, and you don't need to Earthquake next to yourself, slash you do, you can sacrifice Headlong Rush for Earthquake. But I'd probably stick with Headlong Rush, because that's, like, one of the main niches of Great Tusk. Then this is perfectly fine as well. So just getting those mentions out of the way. Assault Vest is going to be the other one that people default to, because its special defense is so low. Patching that up with the Assault Vest will be really, really nice indeed. So you can go for all basically the same coverage. I will mention as well, even on the Choice Band set, Knockoff is worth considering over Earthquake. If you don't have anything to Earthquake next to, then having Knockoff is fine. But if you have something to Earthquake next to, you probably should have Earthquake just for the spread. So if you are going with Assault Vest, then you're not going to be as strong. Therefore, it's worth sacrificing the speed, the max speed, to be able to get some more damage output, because you'll be a little bit weaker if you are not going for that. So then it's still outspeeding modest Golden Goes, and then that's going to be most of them anyway. The special defense investment with the Assault Vest is able to survive either Steel Terror, Make It Rain from Golden Go, or a Moonblast from a Flutter Mane. So that's a reasonable amount of bulk there. Like, it's not too much, and you definitely can go bulkier coming up. But yeah, this is a good enough benchmark if you need Great Tusk to be reasonably speedy, because also with the speed investment, you'll be able to outspeed Iron Bundles and Flutter Manes with a -1 drop. So then that's still going to be quite nice if you do have that on your team. If you don't have that on your team, and you don't care about outspeeding Golden Ghost, and you'll just shrug off the Make It Rain because you're Assault Vest, then you can just go with something like this instead. It's the same attack investment. This was just general attack investment because it was after the speed and the special defense, and it just happens to have the same. Like, I've just kept that for consistency, and then just max special defense is going to make you as bulky as you can possibly be. Just keep in mind that as good as Assault Vest is at patching up your special defense, you're going to be sacrificing it to Headlong Rush and Close Combat. So just keep that in mind, because you're going to have good bulk, but your bulk is going to diminish quite quickly. But you're still going to be doing fantastic damage. I would probably stick with Ground Terror for most of the Great Tusks. Another one to consider would likely be Grass for defensiveness, because that's going to pair nicely with the ground type. So that's worth considering as well. But then, especially with the choice bound one, I probably wouldn't go defensive. I'd just go offensive with the grounds for sure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using this Pokemon, because having a single target ground type Pokemon is actually going to be pretty sweet for once.